AOC. What? She's kind of fun in a silly but earnest, wrong but adorable way. She's like your daughter when she comes back from her first year at Brown, full of half-baked, half opinions, in need of some gentle, patient deprogramming. But people have to realize new faces doesn't mean new ideas. Drives me crazy. AOC has never introduced a fresh idea.
More and more I'm seeing people on the right offering like some praise for her, like, oh, don't count out AOC. And she's a fighter because she seems to have some of the same base as Trump, people who want an outsider. Wake up, people. Wake up. She was 100% on the side of Jordan Neely here, throwing out all the racism accusations and all that her woke identity politics playbook. She is no friend to reason. So stop, okay? Just stop. The praise of AOC has to end from anybody who wants justice, wants reason, wants sanity to prevail, and isn't on the side of war.
Just when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, thought her latest comment would go viral with praise online, Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly stepped in and changed the tone completely. Gutfeld responded with sharp jokes, almost like he was performing stand-up comedy on a political stage. Kelly took a calmer approach, slowly breaking down AOC's argument piece by piece, like carefully solving a puzzle. Meanwhile, AOC appeared to lose her flow, repeating popular phrases so quickly that it became hard to follow. What started as a confident moment for her quickly turned into a public stumble. Many people were left wondering what exactly Gutfeld and Kelly said that shifted the entire conversation so fast.
Crazy. AOC has never introduced a fresh idea or issue in her life. The reason why she gets along with Bernie is because she's like an 80-year-old leftist in a used bookstore. I mean, she may look fresh, but she's as stale as an abandoned futon on the street. It's like, I listen to her, I go, I heard that at Berkeley. And
AOC walked into the discussion strongly promoting her tax the rich message while speaking about economic fairness. However, critics felt her explanation lacked depth and clear details. Instead of turning into a serious debate, the situation started to look like a public relations problem. Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly did not need to shout or attack loudly. They simply questioned parts of her argument and let the weaknesses show on their own. As they calmly pointed out gaps in her reasoning, her broader message about economic reform and the Green New Deal began to look less solid under closer attention.
Check in on AOC and see what she has to say.
Any quick reaction on what's going on with Elon Musk and President Trump on Twitter right now?
Oh man, the girls are fighting, aren't they? I think this breakup we've been seeing a long time coming, but we'll see what the impacts are of it legislatively.
Okay. You're so cool referring to them as the girls. She's above it all, Ben. That's what she's trying to telegraph. You see, she's the adult in the room, the one out there who does a preacher accent, and she leans into her fake Latina accent. And she's the adult.
To many observers, this did not feel like a balanced debate or thoughtful exchange. It seemed one-sided and tense from the beginning. AOC made a bold public statement near Washington, D.C., and it quickly caught the attention of two well-known media voices who strongly disagree with her economic views. Both Gutfeld and Kelly have often criticized progressive policies, especially when they believe those policies focus more on activism than practical results. Once they responded, the conversation quickly turned into a sharp back and forth rather than a calm discussion.
No surprise. Who would go see a movie that's the opposite of entertaining? There's nothing entertaining about that. Michael Moore's colonoscopy is more entertaining than that because there's probably more twists. But it does show you how great it is to be a progressive in a liberal biased culture. She really doesn't do her job, right? She makes movies, she goes to galas, she sits for glossy butt-kissing interviews in GQ and other women's mags. Once you get over the fact that you're hollow inside, it's not a bad...
Greg Gutfeld reacted with humor and sarcasm, treating AOC's proposal as unrealistic. He compared it to something that sounds good at first but does not stand up to serious examination. Megyn Kelly followed with a more structured response. She referred to past statements and specific details, presenting her criticism in a controlled and confident way. Instead of dramatic reactions, she used a steady tone to question whether AOC's ideas were fully thought out. Together, their styles were different, but both aimed at challenging the practicality of her claims.
Problem is, and the reason why they don't have any ideas is they operate on half opinions. Like, what if we get rid of cash bail? Oh, let's do it. What happens? You have repeat criminals wreaking havoc. What if we have sanctuary cities? Hey, let's do it. What happens? You have rapists and killers, finding sanctuary, safe haven. What if we give trans rights that we don't have? Well, you just ruin women's sports. You ruin safe spaces. You make kids' lives hell. But they never think about what their ideas incentivize. That would be nice. So where are their ideas going to?
The situation began when AOC spoke about redefining success in America. Her proposal focused on shifting economic priorities away from competition and toward more shared outcomes. However, critics said her ideas sounded more like broad slogans than detailed policy plans. In her vision, the economy would be shaped more by government direction and social programs, with less emphasis on individual competition. Opponents argued that her approach seemed unclear about how productivity and motivation would work in such a system. They described it as an ambitious vision that lacked specific steps for how it would actually function in the real world.
A little bit of the New York Times review. And Teo, he thinks that the hopelessness of the movie makes it a hard sell for people who would go see the movie and also for voters to change their minds about climate change. But they said for AOC that she offers the best on-screen antidote to despair because she's funny. A canny political strategy. But they don't like it if conservatives are funny.
Yeah.
Right? It's only
That's
helpful
mean.
there. Right?
If a conservative is funny, that's mean. You're
Right.
mean.
Greg Gutfeld approached AOC's economic vision with humor rather than anger. He questioned how someone could sound so confident while, in his view, overlooking everyday financial realities like rising rent and inflation. His jokes suggested that her ideas seemed disconnected from practical economics. Megyn Kelly chose a calmer strategy. She relied on research and real-world examples, speaking in a composed and measured tone. Without raising her voice, she carefully examined the numbers and the logic behind the proposals. In the end, both critics suggested that AOC's arguments weakened under close examination without them needing to apply heavy pressure.
Performance from AOC, who decided to go to the Bronx and pretend she was Cardi B. You're not Cardi, you're not Muhammad Ali.
One major example discussed was the Green New Deal. Supporters see it as a bold and necessary climate plan. Critics, however, argue that it promises large changes without clearly explaining how to achieve them. The proposal includes phasing out fossil fuels while expanding programs like healthcare and housing support. Opponents question how such sweeping changes would be funded and managed. Greg Gutfeld highlighted practical concerns about transportation, infrastructure, and energy supply in a country as large as the United States. Megyn Kelly added that modern economies rely on careful planning, logistics, and mathematics. Their overall point was that big ideas require detailed and realistic plans, or they risk losing credibility.